This is a short video about what we can all see. These airplane emissions filling the sky, these climate engineering programs, we can all see it. And there's been a lot going on with the incredible cool downs in the past winter here in America and the incredible heat going on, and many times incredible heat and snowstorms and cold simultaneously. The earthquakes in Venezuela, and how can we ever get to the bottom of all this and really find out what exactly the U.S. military is doing and what they have the capability to do unless we start asking questions about the most simple, basic stuff which we can all see, and that's the airplane emissions in the sky. Well, let's continue. And you might hear the weed whacker there. This is the only time I can get to do this video, and the township just has to um, do their weed whacking right now. So that's just the way it's going to be. No one's going to watch this anyway. So get honest. You accept this. You got to get honest with yourself. If anything, just get honest with yourself. If you can't get honest with anybody else, you accept this. Just be honest. And you know what I'm talking about, the airplane emissions in the sky. Filling the sky, blocking the sun, changing the weather. You accept this. Makes you feel good to think the airplane emissions are just harmless condensation trails that turn into cirrus clouds. Yep. You like to believe that the U.S. military does not have the ability to change the weather. You like to call anyone who questions the presence of the airplane emissions a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, fuck you. I mean, I'll say this to anybody's face. I mean, you can clearly see the emissions in the sky, and you're going to call me a conspiracy theorist just because I'm telling you airplanes are filling the sky with their emissions? Straight up, man. Fuck you. I'm done with you. My name is Bill Hoy. My website is naturallawwithbillhoy.com. And I have a podcast on Spotify, Natural Law. I have videos on many different mediums, BitChute, Minds, Rumble, all that. Blah, blah, blah. Let's continue. Fact, U.S. military jet tanker airplanes routinely change the weather. This is not a theory. Not a theory. I am just stating this fact. Yes, the implications of this practice are grave. Fact. Climate scientists, journalists, weather forecasters, and politicians provide cover for these programs to exist. Climate engineering programs. They do it by not saying anything. They don't even mention. Let's continue. So this is an article I pulled up. Can we stop El Nino before it starts? A controversial geoengineering proposal suggests that brightening clouds off South America could weaken a burgeoning El Nino, but major technical and ethical questions remain. Yeah, you think? And this Cody Cotter, he's providing cover for these programs, and Andrea Thompson, the editor there, providing cover. Providing cover. Quit your jobs. Stop providing cover. Quit your jobs. If all you people involved in these programs covering up for them, like the climate scientists and all that, if you're afraid of something bad happen to you, if you speak out, at least just quit your job and don't support it anymore. This is from the article. Throughout the coming months, El Nino is forecast to bring droughts, heat waves, and other extreme weather to every continent on Earth. The cyclical climate event driven by unusually warm ocean temperatures in the equatorial Pacific has been gaining steam, with water temperatures reaching record highs. But a new study published Wednesday in Science Advances, a bunch of climate engineering cover-uppers, quit your jobs, suggests that it may be possible in theory if not in practice, to blunt the grim cycle of disasters by seeding clouds off the coast of Peru and Chile, where El Nino originates. Yeah, that's great. Great idea. Yet many experts argue that the technology is impractical and that we ought not meddle in climate phenomena we don't fully understand. Yeah, you think? It's a very risky business to go in and try to interfere with a natural process that's been occurring for millions and millions of years, says Michael McFadden, retired senior scientist with the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, who wasn't involved in the new study. I think nature. This is McFadden, I guess. I think nature is far too complex. Hey, McFadden, don't do these articles. Don't take these jobs. Stop taking these jobs. Stop providing cover there, McFadden. Now, this is a guy from NOAA saying that, we shouldn't do these things, but check this out. Okay, this is from Project Skywater. Experts involving seeding summer cumulus clouds under Project Skywater started in 1965. These experiments involved aerial seeding of cumulus clouds with silver iodide, salt, dry ice, or urea to induce additional rainfall. So there you go. It's already been going on. And this is a guy who was a senior scientist from NOAA. Let's continue. The primary objective of the Great Lakes Snow Redistribution Project is to alleviate the heavy snowfalls which annually hamper Buffalo, New York, and other cities located along the shoreline of Lake Erie. In 1968 and 1969, snowstorms occurring early in the winter were seeded with silver iodide and dry ice in an attempt to redistribute snow further inland from the normal heavy accumulations along the southeastern shore of probably Lake Erie or one of the lakes. Watch this. The Department of Commerce's National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, where this McFadden worked for, supports precipitation modification research on summer cumulus clouds and winter storm clouds under its National Cumulus Modification Project and its Great Lakes Snow Redistribution Project. And you just saw in the previous slide that the Great Lakes Snow Redistribution Project was seeding clouds over the Great Lakes. So what's going on there, McFadden? I mean, he says, we shouldn't do these programs. We shouldn't use these geoengineering technologies, but NOAA already has been doing that since the 1960s. Folks, this is all bullshit. When are we going to wake up? This is more from the article. Beyond the scientific uncertainties, MCB is fraught with ethical questions. Who should be allowed to make a decision with such far-reaching effects? Like, because you geoengineer over one area, it doesn't just affect that area, it affects everywhere. And they've already made that decision. Which world regions should be spared at the expense of others? We've already made that decision. We Americans. We Americans have already made that decision. Look up. Look up in the sky. We've already made that decision. And we Americans all participate in this. We destroy ourselves. Don't blame the politicians. Don't blame Trump. Don't blame Biden. The Obamas, the Bushes, the Clintons. Don't blame them. Blame yourselves. We all participate in this. We all stay silent about this. Okay, so from the rest of the article, it says you're going to make winners and losers. We've already done that. The climate pattern leads to weather that devastates agriculture in parts of Africa and Asia. That's already happening. These programs are already doing that. The Iranians have been complaining for years that NATO weather modification programs have been droughting them out. That's one of the reasons why Iran is so hated, because they're not supporters of climate engineering programs. And suppressing it, from the article, it says suppressing Atlantic hurricanes. Okay. We had a hurricane drought of like 12 years. hurricane landfall, drought of 12 years ago in America. Then more of this. Even if the international community could strike a fair agreement for MCB deployment, I guess that's the geoengineering. It's unclear whether technology can deliver. Folks, there already is an agreement. It's called the Enmont Treaty. It's an agreement between the major superpowers of the world. They're all agreeing. They all are agreeing to basically. I mean, it's a huge document, but to shorten it to just geoengineer over their own lands, which obviously we here in America don't do. We geoengineer all over the world. Um, and talks about David Keith, the climate scientist there. Um, and he says the sprayers of today would need to improve their efficiency by 100-fold. That's all bullshit, folks. And then what did it say? This Juan, I don't know who this Juan guy. Quit your job, Juan. Hey Juan, quit your job. Whoever this. Oh, it's a woman. You can read this article yourself. I'm not going over this whole article, okay? But this Juan, that's a woman. And she says it would take 2,400 ships to spray this El Nino. This is absolute fucking retarded nonsense, folks. Look up. Look up. Wake up, look up. So, here we go. Fact, any change in the state of the atmosphere is a change in weather, folks. This picture right here is a change in weather. It's called mostly sunny. Okay, they call it mostly sunny, but that's a change in weather. When it's sunny and it becomes mostly sunny, that's a change in weather. Sunny is sunny. Mostly sunny is not sunny. When it goes from sunny to mostly sunny, that's a change in weather. That's what you want to call it. Wake up, folks. And of course, you like the anomalous cool downs. Okay, that makes you think that there's nothing wrong with our planetary ecosystem. How about all you out there who are all happy when it was freezing ass cold in the wintertime here in the United States on the eastern side, but yet now it's like hotter than hell, and it's been like that for months. What do you think? You think there might be something going on? Get honest with yourself. Get honest with yourself, man. Look at this. I know you see this. Americans destroying Americans. Americans are doing this to Americans. We destroy ourselves, and we destroy ourselves by looking at this and just refusing to accept that this is really going on. We don't say anything about it. How are we going to get to the bottom of what the U.S. military can really do without at least being honest with ourselves and saying, hey, this is pollution. This is a change in weather. This needs to stop. And we're not, say, for example, we get together in the hundreds of millions and saying we're not paying taxes anymore until we get answers on this. No more bullshit. But people can't even get honest with themselves, man. You can't even get honest with yourself, man. Because it makes you feel good. And it makes you feel good to think that, oh, hundreds of millions of people will never get together and rise up and decide to walk away from the state, the politicians and the statist system. No one will ever get together. Millions, hundreds of millions of people will never get together and decide they don't want to pay taxes anymore. It makes you feel good, doesn't it? Makes you feel good. Well, guess what? I got bad news for you. That has to happen. It has to happen. The IRS has to go. The Federal Reserve has to go. It has to happen. The Federal Reserve props this up. Without the Federal Reserve, these programs don't exist. At least in the way they do. You hold this up. It has to happen. Sorry, man. Sorry, man. It has to happen. There has to be a mass awakening. It has to happen, or we're all going to perish, and not too long. Whatever. That's it. I just decided to waste my time to make this video that no one will ever watch. So, all you who want to look up in the sky and or just not look at all and just lie to yourselves, go fuck yourselves, man. I've had it. That's it. That's my message to you.